Coming up on Chapman News, a new record for rainfall in LA as our latest storm hits the Southland.
Speeding like a freight train? That's the latest warning about the increase in carbon emissions pollution in the environment.
Plus, with exams approaching, we'll have some tips on how to ace that chemistry test. That and more on Chapman News. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to Chapman News. I'm Rachel Weber.
And I'm Haley Haskell. Let's get started with this week's latest stories.
Well, this past week, major storms have brought on record rain, mudslides, road closures, and snow to Southern California. In downtown Los Angeles, the rain has broken a new record. The downtown area has seen 1.9 inches of rain from yesterday's storm, according to the National Weather Service. The previous record for this date was 1.01 inches set in 1997. The rain caused more traffic, flooded cars, and caused mudslides in fire-burned areas like Malibu. One Malibu resident said he was saving his house for the second time in weeks. We have Kim Becker in the Weather Center with more on how this rain is affecting residents. Kim?
For the past 2 days, several inches of rain caused dangerous conditions on the roads and for those living within the Woolsey and Holy fire burn scars. Flood warning was even put in place here in Orange for about 3 hours yesterday as the roads gathered large pools of water. One fatality was reported in a collision on the 5 in Sun Valley as a result of the rains. All northbound lanes near Griffith Park were closed for some time, but not before causing gridlock for miles. Residents of Burbank took to the internet to post videos of water racing through neighborhood streets. This footage was taken by a viewer on Country Club Drive as floodwaters raced down the street. Officials were warning people to stay off the roads as the rainy conditions continued throughout the day. A Southwest plane slid off the runway at the Burbank airport yesterday after heavy rains made the tarmac slicker than usual. There were 112 passengers on board, but no one was injured. However, all Southwest flights were canceled until after about 3 p.m. In Malibu, a stretch of the Pacific Coast Highway was closed when a car got trapped in the mud. This heavy mudslide occurred in the area of Leo Carrillo State Park. Luckily, the driver of that vehicle was left unharmed. More mandatory evacuations were ordered yesterday afternoon for the residents of Trabuco Canyon and near Lake Elsinore, where the burn scars remain from the Holy Fire that burned in August. The 5 freeway throughout the Grapevine was closed in both directions for close to 6 hours yesterday due to snowy conditions. Snow and ice left the roads in dangerous conditions until they were cleared up in the evening. This caused a huge backup on the freeway. I'll have more whether we have rain in the forecast for next week in a bit, but for now, back to you, Haley and Rachel.
Thanks, Kim. Hoping to clear park encampments, Anaheim is moving to fast-track a third emergency homeless shelter near Angel Stadium that is estimated to be open for 90 days. In response to the recent growth and complaints of tent encampments in Maxwell and La Palma parks, new Mayor Harry Sidhu called a special council meeting this Thursday to discuss a quick and temporary 200-bed shelter in Platinum Triangle, up and running possibly before Christmas. Anaheim will continue working on opening 2 emergency shelters early in the new year to address its share of the region's homeless crisis.
Well, if you're planning to build a home in the next few years, you might have to make an addition to the blueprints. California has just become the first state in the nation to mandate solar power on homes built in 2020 or after. Solar industry representatives have assured homeowners that adding panels to their home will save them around $500 per year. However, some have voiced concerns over the action, stating that it could make it harder for those affected by wildfires to rebuild. Despite the hundreds of letters in opposition, the California Building Standards Commission voted unanimously to add these energy standards on Wednesday.
The solar power mandate may be great news for the environment, but there's another dire warning about carbon emissions. A group of 100 scientists say after a few years of cutting down on carbon emissions, they're growing again, this year. The bottom line, the world may be on track to face some of the most severe consequences of global warming, much sooner than expected. The chief offenders, the U.S., China, and India. With some of the worst traffic in the country and an estimated 27 million licensed drivers, it's no surprise that there is a raised concern about California's carbon emissions levels.
Carbon emissions are something that come from any sort of fossil fuel. So anytime you drive your car, you're emitting carbon, unless you're driving an electric vehicle. Anytime you turn your light switches on in your home, you're emitting carbon. Anytime you eat a hamburger, you're emitting carbon because there is a carbon emission that's associated with all of food production.
However, it isn't just California that's of concern. There were dire warnings this week about the rising levels of greenhouse gas emissions. The new report by an organization called the Global Carbon Project found that the emissions are growing at a faster pace in 2018 than they did last year, calling it, and I quote, a speeding freight train. The report further warns that if this issue is not addressed, the planet could warm 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit, causing widespread food shortages, wildfires, frequent storms, and coastal flooding. But there may be some good news here. Royal Dutch Shell, the world's second largest oil company, announced this week that it would begin establishing carbon output targets every year in an attempt to cut its carbon footprint in half by the year of 2050. The oil and gas firm has also outlined plans to link executive pay to the carbon emissions targets as a result of growing pressure from investors. The proposed remuneration policy, which is considered the industry's first, will be put to a vote for shareholder approval in 2020. This move comes as the United Nations hosted climate change conference in Poland will define ways to implement the 2015 Paris Agreement to phase out fossil fuel use in this century and to embrace cleaner energies in order to address global warming. Until then, carbon emissions will continue to increase due to climate change. Reporting for Chapman News, I'm Rachel Weber. A few simple ways you can decrease your own carbon footprint include driving your car less frequently, eating a plant-based diet, or even planting a garden. Well, controversy came out of Harvard again this week after several sororities and fraternities on campus filed a lawsuit against the school for violation of their own constitutional right to assemble. The dean of students told the incoming class that joining a single-sex Greek organization on campus would result in the loss of scholarships, grants, and the opportunity to apply for school-endorsed fellowships, stating that they perpetuate discrimination and exclusion. Protests against the ban broke out with the motto, "Stand Up to Harvard," spreading across social media. After this case was filed with the Suffolk County Superior Court on Monday, the Harvard Crimson reported that these Greek organizations have a strong chance at winning this case.
A 19-year-old student died this week after jumping from the 4th floor of the center atrium at Brigham Young University. Students on campus say BYU's counseling center has been understaffed for months. And according to students on campus, they say students dealing with suicidal thoughts have sometimes had to wait weeks or even months for an appointment. At Chapman, a waitlist of usually 20 to 30 students tripled to 90 people in October after the Las Vegas shooting and statewide fires in California. Some students waited up to 8 weeks to get help. Chapman and BYU are among the many schools making an effort to hire more full-time counselors to meet the increased demand of students in need. You may be noticing a different mood on campus as students hunker down for finals. From free cookies to comforting canines, there's something for everyone this stressful season. Week, the time of the semester that all students dread the most with approaching exams and papers due. Although finals week might be dreadful, Chapman does have some resources to help you ace those exams. One resource is the Leatherby Library's extended hours. From now through next Friday at 10 p.m., the library will be open 24 hours, with circulation services and bookable study rooms available into the late night hours. Free cookies and coffee are also available on each floor for some snacks to help keep you awake. If you're looking for a more social option, the Wellness Project is hosting their Dress Well, Test Well event in Ardros Forum 206 from 2 to 7 p.m. tomorrow, where students can have 5 uninterrupted hours to study and prepare for their exams. Free snacks will be provided, as well as resources like green books and Scantrons. And if you just need a break from studying, there's always Starbucks either on campus or in the circle for a nice warm cup of coffee. Reporting from Chapman University, I'm Haley Haskell, Chapman News. To all the Panthers who are still in the midst of exams, best of luck to you guys. So Rachel, how many exams do you have left next week?
I only have a few, and then I'm graduating in a week, so it's crazy. It's really coming down to the final wire.
Yes, coming down to the finals wire, I guess, for some people.
Nice, yeah. And after the break, we'll hear from Kim in the Weather Center. What do you have for us, Kim?
Will we finally see some sun this weekend? I'll have this week's forecast and more coming up after the break.
Coming up on Chapman News, we'll hear from a few of Santa's helpers here at Madison Elementary. They're so excited.
I can't This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help.
You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Well, today the rain has passed. We're looking at a nicer cloud-free day at a slightly chilly 69 degrees. Let's take a look at our highs for the day in the Orange County region. I think we're still going to be in about high 60s, low 70s, but down here in San Clemente, we've got a 65, Laguna Beach 68, and Newport Beach 69. Orange 69, so get outside, 70 in Westminster, and let's take a look at how your temperatures will be in Southern California. Down in San Diego, we've got a 68, 67 in Oceanside, 70 in Palm Springs, so always a little bit warmer over there, and Big Bear 41, so bring those mittens if you're going skiing. We have 65 in Avalon and a 67 in Santa Barbara. Your 5-day forecast for Orange. Friday today, 69 for the high, 49 for the low. Tomorrow and Sunday going to be a little bit warmer, 70 and 71. Monday and Tuesday back down to the high 60s and the lows of 48 and 46. And everybody, that's all I have for you guys in weather today. We're wishing everyone a happy holiday season and safe travels back home. I'm Kim Becker, back to you guys at the desk.
Well, the city of Orange lit up the plaza with holiday cheer during its 24th annual tree lighting ceremony over the weekend. Hundreds of residents packed Old Town Orange and enjoyed tasty holiday treats, music, and decorations. At the center stage was the event's main musical performance, the Candlelight Choir, which consisted of 6 local choirs. Temple Beth Shalom led a ceremony to light the menorah that will stand in the circle all week in honor of Hanukkah. They will be having a lighting each evening at 6 p.m. during the Festival of Lights through this Sunday.
A few weeks ago, we talked to Sammy Fitzgerald, the Chapman student who's been recruiting Santa's helpers across campus. Her Letters to Santa program through Direct Effect Charities provided over 1,000 presents to Santa Ana children in need last year.
Today we have Natalie Rawson at Madison Elementary, where the students are receiving their presents as we speak. Natalie?
That's right. Thank you, guys. We're down at Madison Elementary. The kids are so excited. Santa is passing out presents as we speak. What's so amazing this year is that our Direct Effect Charities have been able to expand to help 3,000 kids, helping another school in Santa Ana and one in Placentia. We're counting down the minutes till we open. Hey, kids, can we say hi to everyone at Chapman News? Hi. Yes. Are you so excited? It is. What do you think you got?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a surprise? Yeah. All right. They're so excited. We are full of Christmas spirit here at Madison Elementary, and I know they're so grateful for this. I'm Natalie Rawson. This is Chapman News. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Natalie. Well, those kids looked so excited to open their gifts.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh.
I can just feel the Christmas cheer through the screen.
Oh my God, I
Makes
know.
me wish I was there too. Well, whether it's for religious reasons or simply tradition, all over the world people are celebrating the Christmas season with Santa and his elves. But some people may have a different idea. Case in point, Amsterdam, where the depiction of Santa's elves is a little different and causing something of a political storm. Reporter Jackie Alvis was in Amsterdam to find out more.
This week in the Netherlands is the arrival of Sinterklaas, or as we know him in the United States, Santa, along with his elves. But Santa's helpers are under a lot of scrutiny.
It's just tradition, so it should stay like that.
Yeah, I think it's really racist.
For the Dutch, Santa Claus is accompanied by elves on a boat entering the city. However, Dutch folklore claims that these elves derive from Ethiopia, making them elves of color. Citizens during this time of year dress up as Santa and his elves, and not just in clothing, but full face paint as well. This is sparking the debate on racism versus tradition. For the Dutch, it is completely normal in this over 200-year celebration. With heavy sensitivity toward political correctness, Dutch officials have asked for a retirement of this centuries-old tradition. The Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, has gone a step further and asked for a complete ban on the elves and a refurbishment on decor and gift wrap. However, Dutch locals are fighting back in keeping with tradition. When Santa's boat rode into town, his elves were there in full traditional wear, and against expected protests, they were met with cheers, not jeers. This is Jackie Alves reporting to you from Amsterdam, Chapman News.
Protesters have sought to have Black Pete completely banned from any further Christmas parades for the year, and have launched the first legal challenge aimed at having depictions of the character deemed officially racist in the Dutch courts.
Coming up after the break, the final episode of the Best Campus Sports Show for 2018. Stay tuned.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Best Campus Sports Show. I'm Brad Benson, and you can tell I'm a little excited for the holidays. Well, on Tuesday, the NHL voted unanimously to award the City of Seattle a franchise beginning in the 2021-22 season. This news comes out just 1 year after the last expansion team, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, made it to the Stanley Cup Final. The success that Vegas had last year led the charge to start a franchise in Seattle. The new team will play at Key Arena, the former home of the Supersonics, following the completion of the arena's $700 million renovation. The team does not have a name yet, and they're going to take input from fans before they come to a final decision. The expansion draft will be similar to how it was for the Golden Knights, so it's pretty much a cue for everyone else to hide their good players. Something that is going into hiding is the college football regular season. I know it's sad, but we can all look forward to bowl season and the college football playoff that for some unknown reason only has 4 teams. Those 4 teams were announced on Sunday, and they will be Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma. The first round of the playoffs will be December 29th, and the Orange Bowl will feature a head-to-head between Heisman finalist Tua Tagovailoa and Kyler Murray. Wait, UCF isn't in the playoff? I thought they were like undefeated national champions or something. Oh well, enjoy the Fiesta Bowl. It's a great venue. You know what else is a great venue? A pool. Will Cho from the swimming team took first place in both the 100 and 200 fly. Shannon Dominxel met up with him in the pool for this week's edition of Athlete of the Week.
Thanks, Brad. I'm with this week's Athlete of the Week, William Cho. He's on the swimming and diving team, and we're going to see who can dive for the most pennies in 60 seconds. It's 9 a.m., so let's go. I hope I get A's on my final. How did you do that so fast? Let's get the money. So last week you won 2 events in the Winter Collegiate Invitational. What can we expect from you going forward?
So last week was a good indicator of how I'm swimming right now, but we have a month of hard training in January, and then we have conference in February, so we're looking forward to it. And yeah, we're excited. We want to swim fast, and I think we're in pretty good position.
Oh my gosh, cold.
And how does it feel to have won multiple events in only your first year here?
I'm very excited. It was a lot of fun racing those guys, and hopefully we have more first places to come in the future meets.
And you're originally from New Jersey. What made you want to come to Chapman?
Well, I came to California during my senior year of high school, and I fell in love with the weather, the people. You know, it's a lot of good vibes, so I decided, why not? Southern California is the best place to be.
Time!
Oh.
Any last words?
It's
cold. Obviously, swimming is not my strong suit. So after 60 seconds, I got 8 pennies and Will got 30. And it's raining now, so we're gonna head out. I'm Shannon Dominxo for Chapman News.
Well, another week and another loss for the host. Hopefully next semester goes better and I'll be able to rack up some wins for the host. This week's highlight of the week comes from Penn State wrestler Roman Bravo Young. He pulled off an insane move called the Flying Squirrel to secure Penn State's victory. Take a look.
Roman Bravo Young. It's RBY's folk-style version of the Flying Squirrel. Woo! Made famous by Ellis Coleman. Hey, let's see it again.
Penn State, another victory for the Nittany Lions here on BTN.
All right, well, that's all I got for you today. But before I go, I just want to take some time to say thank you to our seniors. It has been an absolute blast spending the entire semester with them, and we're really going to miss having you guys around here. I'll be back next semester hosting the Best Campus Sports Show, keeping you up to date for all the latest in the world of sports. Now let's hear what Ben Allen has for us today in entertainment.
Thanks, Brad. Coming up in entertainment, awards season approaches, and a comedian gets backlash from one of them. Find out all the latest after this break.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. History, philosophy, peace studies, languages. Study abroad and explore the world. Become a global citizen. The Wilkinson College at Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
I'm Ben Allen, here with your entertainment news for the week. Without further ado, let's get jiggy with it. After past homophobic tweets surfaced yesterday, Kevin Hart stepped down as the Academy's host for the 91st Awards. The tweets were posted between 2009 and 2011 on Hart's Twitter and included derogatory language referring to gay people and made belittling comments about sexuality. Hart said in an Instagram post that the Academy asked him to apologize or they would find another host. The comedian said he chose not to issue the apology and step down, instead saying he did not want to contribute to feeding the internet trolls. Hart then took to Twitter to announce his step down from the position and offered the apology everyone was looking for, saying, "I have made the choice to step down from hosting this year's Oscars. This is because I do not want to be a distraction on a night that should be celebrated by so many amazing, talented artists. I sincerely apologize to the LGBTQ community for my insensitive words from my past. I'm sorry that I hurt people. I'm evolving and want to continue to do so. My goal is to bring people together, not tear us apart. Much love and appreciation to the Academy. I hope we can meet again soon." The 76th Annual Golden Globe Awards will be held at the Beverly Hilton Hotel on January 6th of the next year. The ceremony will be hosted by Andy Samberg and Sandra Oh. The leading film nominees for the Golden Globes include A Star is Born, Vice, and The Favorite. Each film is nominated for at least 5 categories, some of which are for Best Actor or Actress and Best Motion Picture in their genres. The superhero blockbuster Black Panther was nominated for 3 awards, including Best Drama, and Crazy Rich Asians was nominated for 2, one of which is for Best Comedy or Musical. Constance Wu was also nominated for her performance in the film, making her the first Asian woman nominated in decades. The 34th Annual International Documentary Association Awards are tomorrow, hosted by Emmy Award-winning television host Ricki Lake, who made her first appearance in 1988 as Tracy Turnblad in Hairspray. The IDA Awards feature categories for Best Narrative and Episodic Documentary. For the feature-length category, notable nominees include Minding the Gap, Dark Money, and Won't You Be My Neighbor. And episodic series nominees include Flint Town, a gripping series that examines the complicated relationship between Flint police officers and citizens, Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown, a thought-provoking series that takes viewers on a journey of food, culture, and enlightenment, and Last Chance U, that follows college football players from small schools whose dreams and aspirations could hinge on their performance on and off the field. The Grammy nominees were announced today. The full list can be found on the Grammys website. The 2 most nominated people at the 61st Annual Grammy Awards are both for hip-hop. Kendrick Lamar leads with 8 nominations, and Drake follows with 7. Female artists dominated top categories this year, seemingly in an effort to address a historic lack of diversity amongst its previous nominees. The Grammys expanded the major categories of Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist from 5 nominees to 8. Well, that's all today in entertainment. Be sure to keep up to date with us on Instagram at Chapman News and watch our This Just In on Instagram TV. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Ben Allen, and that's the way the news goes.
Thanks, Ben. Well, I'm just so excited to hear about Drake being nominated. He's like my favorite, so I'm so excited.
Is that who you would pick for your Album of the Year award?
100%, hands down, yeah.
He's a pretty good artist. Hip-hop's not entirely my genre, but I give him mad respect, so.
Yeah. Well, Chapman University's student-run theater organization, the Players Society, has produced more original content than any other theater group on campus. Reporter Dominique Grund has more. Take a look.
The Players Society is a student-run organization on Chapman's campus that showcases plays and musicals throughout the year. It produces both original student content as well as popular shows. We spoke with the co-president of the Players Society, Melanie Rutledge, to find out more about the organization.
Like sharing hobbies together, like I don't know, just like the theater aspect. It's a very like family oriented type community, so that's really nice.
But something different about this organization is that the content is produced by the students.
Of the 5 shows that we're doing this year, 3 of them are written by students, and so we really just encourage students to like take those leaps and bounds and like challenge themselves or like produce something original. That way it's like not just like some, oh, like everyone knows this show. It's like something different and something that like it's like passion projects that we can put forth on a stage.
And they've already got big things planned for next semester.
So we have Drug Trip, which is like over interterm, and then we are doing Peter and the Starcatcher, which like isn't an original work, but that's like one of our spring shows. And then our other spring show is Spy Kids, which is an original. It's Spy Kids the musical.
One of the musicals that the Players Society is most famous for is the Rocky Horror Picture Show, a club tradition around Halloween time. We met up with one of the actors who has been part of it all for almost 4 years.
My favorite part is definitely Rocky Horror. I've done it 3 of the 4 years that I've been here. 1 year I wasn't able to, unfortunately, but it's a wild time. It's always a lot of fun. You get to dress up in a corset and go prance around in your underwear for a while. So it's a fun experience.
Although the organization creates theater, it also creates something much bigger than that.
It's just like the family that it's like my home away from home.
You can see their upcoming show Drug Trip this interterm and another TPS original, Spy Kids the Musical, this spring.
Before we sign off for the last time this year, we want to wish the best of luck to our Chapman News seniors, who are graduating next week and in May. Take a look. Well, that's all for today's show, and oh my gosh, promised myself I wouldn't cry in this season of Chapman News, but you can catch us when we return in 2019, except for me and these lovely seniors here, because we are graduating.
Yeah,
and I just want to say thank you to everyone who has come into my life during this journey on my broadcast journalism career, from Pete Weitzner to Brett Marcus to the people I work with at Dateline, to my wonderful friends, Sabrina, Amy, Nikki Lorenzen, Tim Wolf, Michael Hofling. You guys know who you are. Thank you so much for everything and all the wonderful experiences over the years. Chapman News, you will be missed so much.
Yeah, totally. This has been an amazing experience, so I'm so grateful for it. Well, you can log on to our website, chapmannews.tv, to see all of our episodes, Chapman Newsy bios, and top headlines. And make sure you also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ChapmanNews, Twitter and Instagram at Chapman News, and of course, YouTube at youtube.com/Chapman News. Thanks for tuning into our show. I'm Rachel Weber.
And for the last time, I'm Haley Haskell. Have a great weekend. Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying. Oh my God, I'm tearing up.